Okay, it's 6:30, and we can start. We can call the meeting to order. And as chair of the Guilford Select Board, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by Governor Scott as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and pursuant to Addendum 6 to Executive Order 01-20 and Act 92, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. In accordance with Act 92, there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting. However, in accordance with the temporary amendments to the open meeting laws, I confirm that we have taken the following step. We are providing public access to the meeting by video conference, and the address of the video call is https://meet.google.com/NHO-IKZC-ETJ. We are also using Google Meet for this meeting, and all members of the board have the ability to communicate contemporaneously during this meeting through this platform. And we also have a phone number to dial in, which is 617-675-4444 with the following PIN 364-536-869-2597 pound. And also we have put the address of this meeting on the town website, which is guilfordvt.net. And we also have, if you neither of those modes of communication are working for you, you can telephone the following number, 603-558-0891. And if necessary, we will continue this meeting in the event that the public is unable to access this meeting. We will continue it at a time and place certain. We would like all to note that because this is a remote meeting, we take a roll call for all votes. And I will begin with taking who's present. Is Veranda here?
Aye.
Zon?
Aye.
Rusty?
Here.
Michael?
Here.
Richard is here. Thank you very much. I don't see any public to recognize, but if you are there public, we do have rules of procedure which govern how the select board and the public interact with each other. And the premise of that is civility and waiting to be called upon. We do have additions to tonight's meeting. And why don't we start with that? Peter, would you like to tell us about the Green Up Day coordinators?
Yes. Oh, well, we can just add that under new business, and then there's
we'll take that under the additions under new business then.
Yep, I have added them to the bottom of new business.
Okay. Are there any changes to the agenda order?
I have none.
All right. I would like, I'm assuming that we've all read the minutes, and I would like someone to motion for us to accept or reject them. Are you motion to accept? By Veranda. And Rusty has seconded. Thank you very much. Is there any discussion? Well, I'll take the roll then. Veranda?
Aye.
Zon?
Aye.
Rusty?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Richard? Aye. Thank you. The minutes have been accepted, and thank you very much. Okay, highway update. I thought Dan was going to join us. Are you there, Danny?
No, he's not. The only people that you see are those of us who are present.
Well,
so
can you give the update then?
I don't know. He may be having technical difficulties.
Yeah, because he told me he was going to come to all of our meetings now.
Yes, he did tell me that he was going to come to this meeting in future ones. So
well, maybe we can change the order of the agenda so that we can put the highway down further.
Sure. Now that we are past the changes to the agenda order, you would need to make a motion to do that and have it seconded.
Okay, I motion that we move the highway update to further down on our agenda. Do I have a second for that? Veranda seconds it. Thank you, Veranda. Is there any discussion? Okay, I'll take the roll. Veranda? Zon?
Aye.
Rusty?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Richard? Aye. Thank you very much. So we hope that Danny will zoom in, as it were. Then we'll move right to the annual financial plan. And do we need
Yes.
Danny for that too?
Nope, we do not. I can talk about that. So every year after town meeting day and after the highway budget has been approved by voters, Dan and I historically meet with several of the staff from our local VTrans office, and they review the budget that was approved by voters and do a series of different calculations to assess a proposed or an estimated amount as far as funding that the town will receive from the state for the upcoming fiscal year. And so every year, this is the form TA 60 that was shared with the select board. So it's based off of how many miles we have of certain types of roads, and then how much we've dedicated towards winter maintenance, and then non-winter maintenance, and then what we have set aside for any major projects for the upcoming fiscal year. And then they do their wang biz math and come up with an estimated total for us. So this is basically, and this is something that the select board has to do every year, in that you certify that we have committed at a minimum of $300 per mile of road for the town of Guilford, and which is what the state minimum is. So you're just saying yes, and we have almost 4 times that amount per mile dedicated for the town. So,
And do we need a motion for that, Peter?
yes, please. So the motion would be you move that we, the legislative body of the municipality of Guilford, certify that these funds raised by municipal taxes are equivalent to or greater than the sum of at least $300 per mile for every class 1, 2, and 3 town highway in the municipality.
Do I have a motion for that then, please? Okay, Veranda motion said. Do I have a second? Zahn seconds it. Thank you, Zahn. Is there any discussion? Okay, I'll take the roll. Veranda,
Aye.
Zahn,
Aye.
Rusty,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
and Richard says aye. And good evening, Don McLean.
And
Okay,
just as a quick side note, Richard, with that now approved, I can let all of you know that as I shared with the select board this morning, we have been awarded a VTrans structures grant to replace the deck and guardrails for a bridge on River Road down at near the intersection of Jelly Mill Road. And about an hour ago, I received another email saying that we were awarded a paving grant to pave the Heinsberg Road.
oh, great.
And so before they can send out the grant agreement, I just need to send them this signed form. So I'll be sending that to all of you for signatures in the morning.
Terrific. Thank you. Good work.
Bravo.
All right. on to-
Can I just ask, what's the estimated time frame for those 2 projects?
I need to talk to
Is it the
Dan.
same-
Well, so all VTrans paving and structures grants are all technically 2-year grants. So we would have to have it. We would have to have the project completed no later than, let's see, June 30th of 2023. Just because of complexities of signing the grant agreement, and then because we can't send out an RFP until we get the signed grant agreement, that it often in the past has typically not allowed contractors enough time between July and October 1st, which is a state deadline for completing projects, to get that done. I do need to talk with Dan to see what he thinks about these 2 projects. They're not as complex as in the past. So I have to get his input as to whether he thinks it's something we should attempt this year or wait until next spring.
Okay, thanks. Is the River Road Bridge likely to be repaired before the Fitch Road bridge? Because I thought that was.
Yeah, so this grant is just to replace, structurally, it is fine. This is to replace the decking and the guardrails on that bridge.
Okay, thanks.
All right, anything else on that? Moving on to new business, the Fort Dummer MOU, which is an annual event for this select board, which is the MOU between Fort Dummer State Park and the town of Guilford, the Recreation Commission. And I that was in your folder. I think you've all read it. Do we need a motion for that, Peter?
Yes, please.
Okay, can I have a motion? Zahn, do I have a second? Veranda, thank you. Is there any discussion? It's a pretty pro forma form. All right, I will then take the roll. Veranda,
Aye.
Zahn,
Aye.
Rusty,
Aye.
Michael,
Hi.
Richard, aye. Very good. So there's another memorandum of understanding undertaken.
I will
And-
send that out for signatures as well to you folks tomorrow.
Thank you, Peter. Abijah and Lucy Terry Prince Day. Did you want to speak to that, Peter?
Yep, I'd be happy to. So just real briefly, I was part of a conference call a week and a half ago now with a couple of members of the Sunderland Select Board, as well as a resident of Sunderland, and then Gretchen Gerzina and Shanta Gander as well. And Shanta and Gretchen were trying to connect Guilford and Sunderland because obviously Abijah and Lucy lived in Guilford for a long time. And then after he passed away in a few other events, Lucy eventually moved up to Sunderland where one of her children were living, and that's where she lived the remainder of her life and passed away. And so they were wondering if there was some way to create some form of connection between the two towns. And this summer, to mark the 200th anniversary of her death, which is a little bit more significant for them, Sunderland is going to be having a Lucy Prince festival to honor her contributions to the state, as well as the contributions of other minorities and people of color. And one of the things that was proposed, and actually this very evening at this very same time, the Sunderland Select Board is going to be considering this exact same topic. And that is wondering if we want to, if the Select Board wants to declare July 11th to be Abijah and Lucy Terry Prince Day in Guilford, and recognize it as a day honoring them and the contributions they made to Guilford and to Vermont.
Do I have a motion? Does anybody want to make that motion?
I
Okay.
would like to.
Okay, great. Do I have a second? Zahn has seconded. Is there any discussion? It's just
I
basically that we'll put out a proclamation.
I
That's
think we
correct.
could put out a proclamation and work with local residents, including Chantalee Gander and I mean, not that she's a Guilfordite, but she's been so deeply involved in this, and other people in Guilford who feel strongly about the legacy of Lucy Terry Prince, and see, I would be willing to undertake organizing around something more than a mere proclamation.
Very good. But in
And-
regard
and-
to the Zahn,
Just a clarification, is Sunderland, Vermont, which is
Yeah.
up near, over near Manchester or something like that, isn't it?
That is correct.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. Thank you.
And so
Any-
just one brief thing to add to that. So in the future, once we have passed through COVID and we can have events, the Sunderland Select Board would like to consider having some form of joint festival on a weekend with Guilford. Say, for example, on a Saturday, there would be some kind of event in Guilford, and then on a Sunday, there would be some event in Sunderland, just honoring the princes.
great. Any further discussion? I'll take the roll then. Veranda,
Aye.
Zahn,
Aye.
Rusty,
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Richard, aye. That carries. We'll have an Abijah and Lucy Terry Prince Day in Guilford.
Okay, and I will make a commitment, an action step to reach out to Chantilly and other people in this town to see what
This is
kind.
Dan. This is Dan calling. Hello.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, okay. Do you want to call in? I can give you the phone number.
Richard, I will text it to him. Well, I tell Dan
Peter's
I
gonna-
texted it to him this morning.
Peter's going to text it to you again. Oh. Do you have the pin that I have, which is 364-536-869-2597 £? Oh. Well. Okay, so if Peter, I'm sorry to hold up the meeting, but he,
Nope.
is the pin that I just told him 364-536-869-2597 £, the correct pin?
Here, let me just take a look. Why don't you continue the meeting, Richard? I'm going to mute myself and tell Dan I will call him.
Okay, Dan, Peter's going to call you. Yeah, thanks for calling in. Yeah, bye. All right, now we're moving along. The dog, Peter was going to tell us about the dog incident. I guess that we can just hold on to that for a moment because Peter has the information about that. It's not a dog incident, the kind that we're familiar with. It's different. It's a different dog incident, and it isn't going to require much action. I can just characterize it in that way. So why don't we go on to something that I put on the agenda, which is remote or in-person meetings. And I wanted to get the select board's sense of whether you wanted to continue meeting remotely or whether you would like to have what I thought was every once in a while an in-person meeting, not every meeting, but at least until the pandemic is put down, that we might meet once in a while if we could in person. And I wondered what you thought about that. Peter brought to my attention that if we did that, if anyone in the public wanted to attend in person, then we'd have to do the whole social distancing. If they were not vaccinated, we have to do the social distancing thing. So that's something to consider. And I was just wondering what your thoughts are on all of that.
I'm in favor of getting together
Okay.
more, occasionally.
prefer
but
the
more than
remote.
occasionally.
Rusty prefers the remote.
Just due to the fact that more people can access it if they can't make it to the school, and it's, to me, it's easier.
Okay. Miranda, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I have, caregiving responsibilities that on a regular basis would make it much more difficult for me to attend. Having said that, I do think that, perhaps every 3 meetings, I could just make arrangements and show up in person if we find that that has a public benefit.
Mm-hmm. Zahn, do you want to throw in your opinions?
I am in the same situation that Veranda's in, and I think that an occasional meeting would be great, actually.
Okay, so you know what, I mean, that sounds good to me. This is nothing that we need to vote on, but I think that, maybe the idea of every 3rd or 4th meeting, if we can meet. Peter, I did introduce the fact that we have to socially distance if we have the public in attendance.
That's correct.
So, but why don't we just play it by ear, therefore? I think are you there, Dan?
Yeah, I'm on. Finally get on.
Hey, welcome. Nice to have you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
just a point of clarification. I heard some mention of the school as is that for real? Or
Some mention of what, Michael?
somebody mentioned the site would be the school. Is that the case?
I have not heard anything about that.
I have not heard that.
I thought somebody just maybe
That's what I thought.
inadvertently said.
So just to get it in the minutes, the
Be-
minutes can reflect that we discussed this subject and that there was a lot of affirmation of continuing to meet remotely. But if the occasion arises where we could meet in person, we would like to try that perhaps on an every 3 or 4 times meeting, just so that we, did I state that correctly in regard to what we've said? Okay,
I want to make sure Rusty's okay. You're okay, Rusty, with that? Okay.
great. Very good. Thank you very much. I mean, in my own opinion is that remote is really much easier than having to get into your car and drive someplace. And it's also, I think that we're all sensing that there's a certain amount of intimacy that once you get used to the platform, that it's even seems kind of more intimate than being in person. I don't know. Maybe I'm just kooky that way.
Well,
But-
I would also add in that we've actually had a much greater public participation in our meetings since
Yes.
going virtual than we have ever had in at least the past 5 years for select board meetings.
So,
So
okay, so the
if and
minutes
when
were,
we do meet, is it going to be indoors or outdoors?
well, we could meet. I mean, that's a good question. I mean, it would be great if we could meet outdoors in the summertime and in the fall. Yeah, isn't there a
That would
picnic
have to be
table?
something I'd have to coordinate with BCTV on to see how recording that would work for them, just to make sure that they could get adequate quality sound from all of us.
Okay, would you check that out, Peter?
I'd be happy to.
Thank you. Great. Can we just go back up to the agenda now to the highway update and Dan? Okay, let's do that.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm here.
all right. So we're looking for an update.
Okay, has Peter said anything to you about the right construction working on the covered bridge?
Nope, not yet.
No.
All right, they contacted me today. As you know, the backhoe got tangled up in the Addison side of the covered bridge and did some damage. And they're gonna have to close the bridge down for a week
Wow.
so they can work on it and set the staging up. And they're looking to do that May 23rd through the 30th. So I'll have to put my big signs out, and we'll have
Yeah.
to put proper note in the paper but because I asked them if they could open it at night, but they're going to have their staging set up,
Mhm.
and it's going to be kind of a pain in the rear for them to take it down, put it back up. So they just would like to get it, and it may not even be closed for a week. It may be even shorter. So
Let's hope.
yeah.
Yes,
So,
Son?
I mean, that's Memorial Weekend, right?
That weekend.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Unless we can postpone it after that, after the say like the first week of June. I mean, I could talk to Joe and find out if they can wait a week.
I think that would be preferable myself, because I think that people might be wanting to recreate around there.
All right. Well, I'll call them in the morning and find out if they can
Yeah.
change it for another week.
I think a lot
And
of
if they
people will be
can't, then we'll
passing
have to
through
do the
on a drive
23rd to the 30th.
Memorial Day.
Okay.
Okay, what else you got, Dan?
Well, the other thing is we got a call from AOT. Peter did. We got a couple of grants that we were going to get last year, but they finally came around and they gave them to us this year. So we have a paving grant and a bridge grant. The paving grant's going to be all of West Guilford over, on the Heinsberg Road,
Mhm.
be over 2.5 miles. And then the bridge deck on what I call Bell's Bridge down in Green River is in really rough shape. So they'll rehab the deck and put new guardrails and stuff up
Great.
on that. So, but that won't be awarded until after July 1.
Okay.
And so that's a 2-year, we have up to 2 years. Last time I knew it was up to you have 2 years to do the work, complete the work in. So
You are correct, Dan. We have until June 30th of 23 to do the work.
So, and then the other thing is as you all know, we had a quick mud season, and it came fast and furious. And we had spent some money on gravel and stuff like that. I mean, the mud's finally drying up now, so we're getting around grading roads and trying to get our summer work done. We've been setting culverts, just doing our regular routine maintenance work. And then the other thing was that I had one truck dealer didn't get back to me today for the price of the truck. Actually, they don't have, I had two dealers that said they didn't have any, but we got one letter. They wrote and said that they didn't have any trucks in stock. But Clark has that one, and it's in paint right now. And I don't know if you guys want total figures on it right now.
I
Well, I
shared
have
it with
100
them.
177,753.
Yeah, no, I added a couple. I added the glad hands to the rear, a go light, and an extra camera. It's 178,953, and plus registration.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be 178,953.
Okay, $200 more. And do you need us to make a decision about that tonight? I know that Clark said that they'd like the select board, that they have another customer.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't do it, then we'll have to go put things out to bid, cab and chassis, and we'll be looking for probably a truck not until springtime.
Mhm. And this truck was on the list to be replaced, right? I mean, at this
Yes,
time.
it was. It was on our capital,
Yeah.
on the capital plan. And I don't know if anybody's ever had any chance to review the capital plan.
Yeah, we
That
did.
what-
We went through a big review of it last meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So can I have some feedback from the select board? The question is that the truck is in the capital plan. The funds are there to purchase the truck. The Clark, the dealership Clark says that there's another customer. The truck is made up and ready to go. That would serve the town of Guilford's purposes. And we need to know what your sense is of whether you want to go forward with that purchase or not, which is $178,953.
Was this for next year in the capital plan, or was that for this year?
that was this year.
Okay.
That actually, it was supposed to have been a 1 ton and a chipper. And I decided to go for the bigger item instead, because that's the most expensive one. So, which is going to be replacing the 2012 International that we've been having some trouble with. So
I'm in favor of moving forward with the purchase.
Okay, yes, and I see all these heads moving. Yes, okay, then I can have a motion then to go forward with that purchase. Miranda, you're motioning, and we want to make sure that we say that it's coming out of the capital budget.
Yes. Do you want me to articulate the whole thing, or can we just go ahead with?
Do you have sufficient information, Peter, to put it in the motion?
I do. I have a motion written already.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Well,
Do I have a
moved.
second?
I'll second.
Oh, thank you, Michael. Is there any discussion?
And thank you, Danny, for his work.
Yeah.
Putting it
oh, no problem. Thank you guys very much. But I'd like to say, if you people get a chance to stop by the shop, if you're out and about, please do stop in
Yep.
and see what's going on and talk to the guys.
Mhm.
We're going to do that.
Just come in and say hi. We haven't seen anybody ever since this pandemic come around. So
We're all coming out of our holes, or is that our homes?
well, good. No,
these-
I just don't want you to be strangers. I want you to come around and visit and talk to the guys
And we love to see
know,
you, Daddy.
well. I just barely got back from Burlington. I was golfing all weekend. So
Oh, good for you.
Yes.
So
Well,
So I did send out an email last week about asking folks to drop down when they, by the garage when they could. So I think we're getting steam up to do that.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Speaking
Richard.
of,
You're
speaking of
very
visits,
welcome, and
Danny,
thank you.
Oh, Dan, before you go, I know that I heard about the Conservation Commission and the Highway Department helping to plant those trees
Yeah,
near
they
the town.
did that on,
Yeah, I just wanted to convey to you, our appreciation and the Conservation Commission's appreciation for helping out with that rather chaotic and important process.
Thank you,
no,
Veranda,
thank
but we
you.
do have a motion on the floor, so we need to move that. I mean, it has been moved. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Yes, Michael?
oh, not on the discussion.
Oh, okay. So then I'm going to, if there being no further discussion, I shall take the roll on that. Veranda?
Aye.
Zahn?
I
Rusty?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Richard, aye. Okay, Guilford, you have a new truck.
No,
And
thank you
it's
very
going
much.
to be red, I understand.
Yeah, it's a red one. So,
Yeah.
Hey,
Great,
Danny, this is Michael. Are we still on for Wednesday morning to meet with
yeah,
the guy from Griffin? Okay.
well, I haven't heard anything. It's Peter, have you gotten contacted with him?
Yeah, he wants to meet us at 8:30 on Wednesday at the garage, and he's going to take a look at the situation, and he's going to make some professional recommendations. I did make it clear to him that this is not an opportunity for him to put in a bid, but we'd like his professional opinion as far as what work needs to be done, so we can put together an RFP, so we can get consistent bids from parties, and he is fully aware of that. He said he has done that many times in the past for other towns in both Vermont and New Hampshire. I told him we really appreciated the work that he did, and hope that once the RFP goes out that he would bid on the project as well.
Okay, so if
well, thank
anybody,
you very much.
I'm hoping to get there, Dan, and if anyone else from the
Okay.
select board wants to go and
Well,
talk
we
to
can only
Mr.
have two
Griffin.
select board members there at a time,
Oh,
so I know
that's right.
Michael's going to be there.
Oh, Michael's going to be there, and well, I could be there then if no one
You
else is
stop by,
planning
Richard.
to.
That'd
What?
be great.
Okay,
Yeah,
if I
so
can.
be 8:30 Wednesday morning. Good.
All right, thanks, Dan.
Are we all set? You
Yeah.
guys got any questions you want to ask or anything?
No,
Okay.
thank you, Dan. Welcome
Thank
home.
you.
Well, thank you very much, and have a good evening.
You too.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Okay, on to the next agenda item, which is support for Guilford Cares. We had an email exchange about that. Oh, I'm sorry, Zahn, yes?
did you want to slip back to the dog issue?
Oh, yes, the dog. Peter, that's right. Yes, thank you, Zahn.
Thanks for remembering, Zahn. This is just very brief. It's more informational for the select board, but because it is a dog incident, we do need to talk about it publicly. I was contacted by the animal control officer for the town of Halifax to notify us that a Guilford resident on Hale Road has several dogs who have been crossing the Halifax line and have been harassing a Halifax resident, in short, is what he explained. I won't go into all the detail at the moment. He wanted to notify the Guilford Select Board that he had a chat with the Guilford resident, let them know that, at minimum per state statute that they cannot do that the dogs need to remain on their property and cannot be running at large. And I shared this with Richard when he and I had our meeting last week, that Halifax recently did similar to what Guilford did and rewrote their dog ordinance to basically mimic the new state statutes as we did earlier this winter. So I did let the animal control officer know that we support his what he said to the Guilford resident, and that should there be any issues that he should contact me further. I also let him, he requested that the town send a copy of our dog ordinance to this resident, just so that person is aware of what Guilford regulations are, and also requested that if there are any issues in the future with this resident, that the select board do it jointly with him.
Okay, thank you. Is there any discussion of that or questions? Yes, Rhonda?
Well, this is just really a sidebar to that. I wondered whether their dog officer might like to become our dog officer if two towns were able to share one, as I heard would be possible.
It
mean,
is
just-
possible.
To explore.
Yeah. I had spoken to him about this when you folks discussed it, well over a year ago, and he was not interested in it at that time.
Well, ask him again.
Okay, I can do that.
All right, are we all set on the dogs?
Yep, that is, like I said, it's mostly informational. I will send out in the mail, I will send a copy, a printed copy of our dog ordinance to that resident.
Thank you, Peter. The support for Guilford Cares, I just wanted, we had an email about that, and not a group email, an individual email, and we made no decisions, let the notes show. But we did send, I did send to, on behalf of the select board, several sentences that Richard Griffith could include in Guilford Cares's submission to Senator Bernie Sanders' office for the Senate Appropriations Committee, our firm and enthusiastic support for money to come to Guilford Cares for them to have a permanent home. So, and certainly, I know that you agree with me, Select Board, that they certainly deserve that, and that would be a wonderful event and happening and structure for our town to be able to have a place for elder care and for the food pantry. So I'm really hoping that I've been talking to Richard Griffith off and on for about 1.5 years about this, and finally, they accepted Senator Sanders' invitation to put it forward as a potential project. So I wanted you update on that. Any questions about that? Okay, and then also I put this on the agenda, Guilford Free Library opening. According to Governor what's his name?
Scott,
thank you. Scott's most recent regulations, the Guilford Free Library can open, and did open. It doesn't need to have the select board's approval because the library was following the state regulations. So, I just thought that we wanted to have that in the minutes because we did close it, but now it is opened, and they're overjoyed that the Guilford Free Library is now open again. Yes, Don.
I see that Don's hand has been up for a little while. I
Oh,
wonder-
it has? I'm sorry, Don. I didn't see it.
I had an email from Jamie Durham that she's been trying to get admitted to the meeting.
There's someone in the meeting on the
someone in the meeting via phone. I don't know if that's Jamie.
Is that you, Jamie?
This is Leah Gassner. I'm listening.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for that piece about Guilford Cares.
Yes. I don't see any Jamie, so I don't know what we could do because she has to initiate it.
Okay, I don't know then. There was some question about the link on the Front Porch Forum is different, I guess, from the link that's shown on the agenda on the
Well,
town
could you
website.
email Jamie the right link, Peter?
Sure. I don't know
Sure.
if she's still out there trying, but that was.
And then we need to talk about the Bullock Education Scholarship appointment and minutes correction.
Yes, I can talk very briefly about that. So after some several emails from a very cooperative citizen trying to assist us in this, Don McLean. I think that we have finally come to the bottom of it. The simplest way to do so is that at the, I believe it was the March 9th select board meeting, the select board had appointed Catherine Mason to the Bullock Education Scholarship Committee, and she actually had been appointed last year for a 3-year term. And so what the select board needs to do, so we don't really need to appoint her. There's nothing you need to really do to reverse that, since you had already appointed her. That what you actually need to do now is to appoint Tasha Tillman was the correct individual who needed to be appointed this year. So if
For how
we
many
could have
years, Peter?
for 3 years, they're on rotating 3-year terms. As Dawn corrected us, I believe 2 meetings ago.
Okay, so this is a correction of the minutes, which you're going to execute, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and do I have a motion to nominate Tasha Tillman to the Bullock Education Scholarship Committee? Zahn has got his hand raised, and I have a second from Veranda. Is there any discussion? Okay, then I'll take the roll. Veranda,
Aye.
Zahn,
Aye.
Rusty,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
and Richard. Aye. Yay, Tasha. I think she's a good person for that committee.
Richard, we actually need to go back to 2 things. The 2 new additions under new business that we skipped over. The first, so after the Guilford Free Library reopening, there's the Green Up Day coordinators. So as you know, for quite a few years now, Ellie Mayanen has been our Green Up Day coordinator, and due to some other obligations, she has stepped down. Actually, last year, that being said, she did graciously assist to some degree this year in the coordination of it. What I believe was on Wednesday of last week, both Ellie and I were contacted by Jamie Durham and her husband, Jethro Eaton, in that they would like to take over Ellie's position in a joint role and share it together. And so we would need the select board to appoint them to be the Green Up Day coordinator until next year. Obviously, Green Up Day has passed, but you can appoint her for the upcoming year. Or them,
Do I have a
should
motion? Veranda and Michael seconds. Thank you very much. Is there any discussion? I'll
Just
take the roll.
thank you.
Yes, thank you, Veranda. I'll take the roll. Veranda,
Aye.
Zahn,
Aye.
Rusty,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Richard, aye. And so they have been appointed. Thank you, Jamie and Jethro. That's excellent. All right, then on to the Arbor Day.
Well, Veranda really kind of already touched on that with when at the end of Danny's discussion for the road crew. But Linda Hecker just wanted to share her gratitude and appreciation to all of the Conservation Commission members who put in a great deal of work to enable this event to happen on Arbor Day. There was some concern that all the pieces wouldn't fit together for it to actually happen on Arbor Day, and they managed to do so, as well as thanking Jim and Chris from our road crew for staying beyond their work day to make sure that these trees got planted and didn't sit just bare root on top of the grass until the following Monday. And so they're all very grateful. And I expressed my appreciation to Linda for being the coordinator for all of this and making sure all of our puzzle pieces fit together. So
Can
they
I
were very
suggest that we
excited.
send an official letter? Peter, we had on an action to send a letter when they got the grant for the trees. Did you send that letter? We were.
I had not
congratulating
had the opportunity yet to.
them. Okay, well now we can. I wish you would. We could send a letter on behalf of the select board if the select board agrees, congratulating the great job that both the highway department did and the conservation commission. And
If I remember correctly,
I'll work with you to write that letter, Peter. I'd like it to go out soon.
Yep, I can work on that tomorrow. And actually, I'm more than happy to work with you, but I believe that Veranda had actually volunteered to work with me on
Veranda.
sending that.
There's a
Yeah.
brilliant writer for you, so I'll hand it right over to Veranda.
So,
Okay, I'll coordinate with Veranda on sending. I'll draft something and send it to you, Veranda, for your cleanup and improvements.
okay, and so are we going to send one letter to the Conservation Commission or send a letter to the Highway Department? What is the plan?
Oh, I was thinking
think
of
we
one
should do
letter
both.
that thanked them all, thanked everybody, and they could all receive it, so that they
Okay.
all know that we're congratulating the whole gang that made it such a successful day.
Okay, Peter and I will get on it.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you, Veranda.
Speaking of Arbor Day, that was my favorite holiday when I was in kindergarten. Did you all celebrate Arbor Day in kindergarten? We did in Boston.
Mhm.
It's a very happy memory for me, and the more of those I can have, the better it is. Okay, on to the warrants.
The warrants. Okay. I move that we pay the following warrants. Payroll week 5/2/21 for the sum of $5,796.60. Payroll week 5/9/21 for the sum of $6,279.63. Expense warrant number 2020 for the sum of $36,522.14 for a total of $48,598.37.
Do I have a second? Zahn seconds it. Is there any discussion?
It was largely, the largest expenses were salt and gravel.
Okay, if no further discussion, I will take the roll. Veranda,
Aye.
Zahn,
Aye.
Rusty,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Richard, aye. Thank you very much. And let's go on to communications, Peter.
I do not have any. And then
Okay.
your action summary from your previous meeting was you approved the bike and pedestrian RFP, and I was to make the updates and corrections to the capital improvement plan and share that with the select board, which I'm sure you all have seen and hopefully have had a chance to review. As far as actions from this meeting, you made a slight adjustment to the agenda order. You approved the purchase of a truck from the Clark's Truck Center. You approved the annual financial plan for our highway funding. You approved the MOU with Fort Dummer State Park. You have created the Abijah and Lucy Terry Prince Day on July 11th every year. I am to contact BCTV about recording meetings outdoors, as well as recording hybrid meetings with some people in person and some people virtually. And you retroactively shared your support for Guilford Cares in reaching out to Senator Sanders for funding. And then you appointed Jethro and Jamie as co-coordinators for Greenup Day. And you have appointed Tasha Tillman to the Bullock Education Scholarship Committee.
Let's see, and you and I will write a letter, and also
Thank you.
you can beg the dog officer of Halifax.
Thank you for those two. I forgot those. Thank you,
Did
Brenda.
we capture the select board? Did we capture all the actions that we did? Yes. Okay. And the actions to be taken. Oh, that was what we just did, right?
That's what we just did.
Okay. Well, it seems to be that time again.
And you can make it to your next
do I have a
meeting on
motion?
time.
Yes, I can. But I hope that no one felt rushed. I wasn't trying to rush anyone. But we are.
Looks
so
like Zahn is trying to
expeditious
make a
on the
motion,
select-
Richard.
What?
Looks like
Zahn,
Zahn
do
was
you have
trying to
a
make a
motion?
motion.
I would like to have a motion considered, please, that we adjourn.
Oh, okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
It's Rusty. And is there any discussion?
I think it's a fine plan.
And so easy to implement.
Yes, Miranda, I'm taking the roll.
Oh. Yes, I think we're having goofy hour here, certainly.
Zahn,
Aye.
Rusty,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Richard, I. Thank you very much and good evening, Select Board. Another good
Good
meeting.
evening, everyone.